Evan here. So let me start by telling you a little bit about myself. I grew up in Des Moines, Iowa. My grandfather used to take me to estate sales and auctions mainly, flea markets, and I kind of got into collecting different things, things that people don't really realize or appreciate these days. So I started by collecting video games, and then I started getting into antiques. And so let me show you a few things that I do. I do collect video games, systems, everything from antique keys. You see those antique keys up there, to military memorabilia, oil company, John Deere stuff, shotgun paper shells. This is ammunition that was all produced in Des Moines at the Ankeny Works back for the war. Gauges. I'm really into coins. I like pictures, kind of just anything that people don't really notice or don't really appreciate these days. Chair. I love this chair. And but what I need help with today is I need help with marbles. So I've gotten a collection of marbles that what started as I used to move people, and I would move a lot of older people, and they just wanted to throw things out, things they didn't want to take with them, and I started collecting things. But marbles, I've moved a lot of people that had marbles and just didn't care, didn't want them. Some I was given, and some I guess I paid for them, and I don't think I ever paid more than probably $30 or $40 for a large lot of marbles. So if you could give me help, some of these I know were handmade, and they've been mixed in, but I've tried to keep them separate from each place I bought them from. So I'll show you where. I'll show you what I've got, and where I'll kind of tell you where the certain marbles came from. So here is all the boxes of marbles I have. This is a box of large marbles. This is from another estate, and I've got all these. I've got these, and I've got these two cases of marbles. So I'll start by going through the first thing of marbles. It's the large one. Some of them I could tell were handmade, and some I could tell were not, or were cheaply made, reproductions. But I do not know that much about them. I'm learning about the pawn tills and the different brands and ribboning and all that stuff. But I am so curious as to if any of these actually have some serious value. I know marbles don't really go high up in value unless they're like Lutz's or something like that. But I'm just going to show you these marbles. I'm not going to do a lot of talking. And at any point in time, if you see something that's interesting, comment at the time and on the video, and I can go back through and I can show you these marbles all over again. But like I said, they're kind of mixed in. So here's the first one of the large marbles. This one's a sulfide dog, but it's pretty beat up. It's rather large. So here is the second box. The first box was actually a mixture of all three of the larger, I guess, estates you could say I got them from, just kind of mixed in together. And the second one is from one specific estate. This, I paid, I think, $30 or $40 for this lot, but I could tell there was some handmade mixed in, but I have not had time to separate all these, so I kind of just grouped them as well as possible. So this is the second box of marbles, and here is one of the smaller boxes. Some larger marbles in there on the right. Here's the next set of marbles. So I think these were a lot of the ones that kind of caught my eye from it was an estate where these were just in a basement, and so the couple in the 60s and 70s owned a gaming place where you could go and play pool or you know, I don't know, all sorts of different games, and they were in their basement, and they were just in a box that was pretty much, it was cardboard and it was pretty much just dilapidated. And I asked, you know, hey, what are you going to do with these marbles? And they said you can just have them. So they said they had no need for them. They were from way back when they had their gaming place, and I think that some of these are actually just really cool looking. So that's that one. Here's the next one. So all of these marbles in these containers came from that same estate that they were in the basement. And I don't have these separated very well, I know, but that's also because I'm not an experienced person when it comes to marbles. I've just kind of, this is one of the things I collected. I just couldn't see someone throwing these out. I know a lot of people like to collect these and put them into jars, but for me, it was kind of just saving something, a piece of history, especially since one of the people that I moved told me that they were their great-grandfathers, and they just kept them, and now they want to get rid of them because they didn't have anything to do with them. They didn't have any real use for them, and they didn't really want them, and they just took up space. As you can see, it's a large collection, so I'm going to get it. I thought these little clay marbles were really cool. These were some of the ones, along with these, I believe they're called Benningtons. These were some of the ones that I found in this really old pouch. I'm sure those don't have very much value. And these are all different colors. I can't really see it in the camera, but some of these are like blue, some are purple, the green, just different colors. A lot of these are just off shades and not very round at all. A lot of these are not round at all. So there is that case. And then here is some from another estate. These are actually from two different estates. I purchased this entire set, I think, for less than $60. They were in a bunch of paper bags that were also pretty much falling apart. These ones are a little bit larger. I think they're all roughly the same size. .74. That one's definitely not round. I mean, there's some pretty weird shapes to some of these. Kind of ovular. I could tell, you know, a difference between a lot, like some of the older ones, they just look really old. I mean, and you know, I thought it was just they were beat up, but I think some of these were really well played with, and then others you could just tell they just sat in a box or in a cardboard or a paper bag. Kind of like a creamy swirl on it. Some of these kind of marbles, you know, I've never really seen anything like them. I thought this was a marble, and I was like, yeah, that doesn't look like a... Okay, it's a bouncy ball. So there's those. And then these ones all looked machine made for the most part. I'm sure there's a few that are handmade in here. Like, these are just kind of, they're all yellow to me. I know they're different, but to me, it's just, they're all yellow. It's like a gold tint to it. So that's those. And then here, another box of marbles. Now, not only in these ones were the colors different, but the tints were different. I don't know if that's maybe, you know, some of them sat in the sun or something. You know, I know they don't all turn out the exact same, but the coloration, the way it swirls, you know, to me they were all just blue and white. But obviously, I know to a marble collector that's not the case. So I'm sorry if I'm insulting anybody. I'm just not very experienced with marbles. So there's those, and then lastly, these ones. So these are ones that were just either seemed like, you know, these ones all seem pretty plain to me, and or just really beat up. Pretty sure that's not even a marble. Just because it's round doesn't mean it's marble. It's one thing one person taught me. So that's those. Here's a bag of, some I knew were that were already separate in a bag, paper bag. So I just left those separate. Put them in something that can actually hold them and not fall apart. Some of those handmade ones came in this really old marble pouch. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 boxes of marbles, and trying to figure out what's what obviously is pretty difficult. So if you could give me some insight into what I should start with, if there's any point in pursuing a value of these. Like I said, some of them, like you could see the Pontils on them, and they're handmade, but they're also mixed in with other ones. So I just would guess I'd like some input onto what I should do. I don't want to just, sell these marbles as a huge bulk lot, because I feel like there's some that, are worth, I think, looking into. Maybe it's just me and my love for the detail that someone actually took to make some of these handmade ones. But if you can give me any input, once again, on any of these marbles, what I should pursue, what I should possibly do, because I would like to sell some of them, but not all of them. And obviously I don't want to waste my time, if someone thinks I should just sell them as a bulk lot. But I really think that some of these might be, worth actually looking into or pursuing them individually. I know a lot of the larger marbles are more valued. I don't have any experience telling what's authentic or what's reproduction. I was assuming that maybe these larger ones here were reproduction, but that's just my assumption. Just the quality of the glass doesn't seem very good. But some of these seem really interesting. It's a larger one right here, and this one seems pretty cool to me. I think there's a couple other ones mixed in there like that. See, I could see how it was folded over right there. These ones are older, but they're pretty beat up. For some reason this one keeps catching my eye. It's just so chipped. Reminds me of a flower in the spring. Some of these look like this glass. I don't know what it is about this glass, but this glass reminds me of like a sea glass that's been like, in the ocean. So, if you have any input on these marbles, please help me out. If I need to go back, and I can go back over all of them or a specific box, if you need me to go over a specific box slower, just I guess leave me a comment in the section below. And next I'm going to be going over, I've got a extremely large coin collection, a couple thousand coins, which I've also collected from different estates. It's crazy what you can buy for cheap. So, you know, if you have any opinions on